Hey everybody, it's Monday, December 22nd, 2025. Welcome to the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast, where it's winning time. It's me, your man, MG, Marcas Grant, joined by Michael F. Florio and LaQuan Jones. Fellas, how are we? I know we were sort of moaning and complaining our fantasy fates before the show started. It sounds like, based on our conversations, that we all have been now bounced from our respective fantasy leagues. Is that accurate?
Some. I'm still alive in two, but one that I really, really care about, which is my friends back home. I have been bounced because of Kamani Vidal, because of Travion Henderson. There's a lot of issues, man. But, you know, I'm okay. The crash out meter is still up.
Oh, all right. Very good. We actually, honestly, we thought the crash out meter probably got reset after Thursday night.
No. I'm fine. We're fine with that. We are well past that. It is not Monday, Marcus.
I'm glad. No. I'm glad. I'm happy for you. Like we just assumed that the way things went down in Seattle.
Oh, you guys were trying hard in the group chat. You guys were pushing the button.
2-point conversions.
We didn't hear from you for a bit.
Yeah.
That's me collecting myself when I don't respond. But there was a lot of group chats that were just poking the bear, but the bear was in hibernation, sleeping.
Good for you. I'm proud of you. You've shown some growth over the course of the season, so I'm proud of you.
It happens. It happens.
Proud. Yeah, I don't know, Florio. How are you looking? I know you had a couple tough ones, I think, right?
So the toughest one was Nicolette's team, who she went 11-3, most points all year. She had Josh Allen, she had Jacoby Brissett, Christian Watson, Drake London, Quinshon Judkins, like her worst year of the year. So she was going through it, but I have clinched my League of Record championship. I'm in 3 championships right now. And if Juwan Jennings doesn't get outscored by Tyler Warren tonight by 15, it'll be 4. It'll be both of my home leagues. So my friends from home right now hate me because they're always like, oh, the pro, he gets an advantage. And now I'm in both championships. So they're probably upset with me.
Imagine being the commissioner and you're constantly going to the championship. People are just going to say, oh, man, this thing is rigged. Oh, man.
I don't commission any league, but because of
this
what
is the
I
last
do.
time. My election year is next year, so I'm no longer going to be commissioning this. Thank God. I mean, we do every cycle of every 2 years, and thankfully, I'm not up for anymore. I'm out. I don't want to do it.
It is the most thankless job in fantasy sports. Like being the commissioner is the worst.
It's annoying. Getting 11 grown men on the same page, having league meetings is the worst thing that I will have to do. Bro, yes. And here's the thing. Not everybody shows up. And then when they don't show up, they complain about the rule changes. Oh, we still got kickers. Yeah, because I needed your vote to get it out of here.
So I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I wouldn't show up to a league meeting. I'm not gonna show up, but I'm also not gonna complain about the like whatever. Like okay, you just tell me what the rules are. Tell me when the draft is, and I'll be there. Like I'm not gonna show up to a meeting for this.
We don't do meetings, but we do vote every year on stuff. But it's like a text or email thread.
Usually just like like honestly, your meetings could have been an email. That's what I'm saying right now.
Oh, I didn't see the email. Oh, I would have voted. Like, listen, it's a struggle to get 11 other grown men on the same page. That's why I cannot wait to not commission this league anymore. I do like that you guys
rotate commissioner. Like my leagues have the same people be commissioner and they hate it, but no one else wants to do it. So they just keep doing it.
If you're going to be in this league, you will participate in the election. And I
love that you're like a co-op situation going on.
Wait, you guys vote on who the commissioner is?
There's one guy that wants to be the commissioner, but we refuse to let him be commissioner. So every time his name comes up, we're like, nah, bro, this will be the Wild Wild West.
There's a simple solution for all of you guys who don't want to do it. Just let him do it.
Just let him do it. Honestly, I really feel like it should be the last place punishment. Right? Like if you come in last place,
you're the commissioner next year.
That's a great idea, actually.
Sorry about your luck. Now you got to run this whole thing. Have fun.
The funny thing is, the person I'm talking to listens to this pod. He's a huge fan of Florio. And the thing is, it's like, we cannot let him be commissioned. So it's like never going to happen.
So he's a troll if he likes me.
That's funny.
He likes that you stir the pot. And he likes that you push my buttons. And he's supposed to be my boy, but it's all good.
Man, that's actually really, really funny. I was in 3 semifinals. I will make it through in one of them. One, I had guys that just had bad games at the worst time. One, in a fantasy live league, I ran into Karine Falcone, who just has a juggernaut. I was telling you guys, she's up by 50 on me, and she still has Christian McCaffrey left to play. So I texted you the Jake Paul busted up face, photo, because that's kind of
jaw broken in two places.
That's how my team feels.
If she wins, it's what her second or third title in 4 years. Like
it'll be a third in 4 years, I believe it is. Yeah, it's basically her and Haitham Kalani are like the Chiefs and Patriots just kind of running this thing right now. Although looks like Haitham might be out. Haitham might be out. So anyway, yeah, the third league I made it through. It's like it's a league where I know like literally one person. The commissioner of the league was like invited me in. I don't know anybody else in this league. They all know me and what I do.
They hate you 100%.
They really do. Like I didn't even get to pick my team name. They made my team name for me. They're like, this is Marcus's Hustle. Like, that's the name of the team.
Wow.
It just says the name of the team is Marcus's Hustle. Like, that's it.
I like that. You got to keep it now.
So, but I was the 2 seed, and I'm looking like I'm going to get through to I have a huge lead, and I still have Michael Pittman to play. Actually, no, I take that back. I have a huge lead. I have Kittle. He has Pittman. So I'm pretty good there. So, anyway. Making it through in 1 out of 3.
We'll all be stressing championships on Christmas Day. That's what I
exactly.
Yeah,
that's exactly. It's exactly what it is. Anyway, we got a lot to do on the show today. We're gonna go through our week 2 of the playoffs. Heroes and villains. I could have said that a lot better and smoother than I just did. Whatever. Also looking ahead to maybe some big questions for week 17 because we're starting to get information. And of course, one last waiver wire go around for folks, people who to drop, people who to add, and then just some general tips on how to approach it because this is a different week when it comes to the waiver wire. So we got all that and more. Plus, first, we'll do some news headlines, as we always do about this time. Going back to Saturday night, Jordan Love was forced out of the Packers game against the Bears with a concussion. He is in the protocol as of us recording this show. I know the Packers certainly optimistic that he can come back, but we will wait and see. But Florio, how big of a hit do the Green Bay pass catchers take if it is Malik Willis that has to start next week?
Huge hit, I think. And it's not that I don't believe in Malik Willis. It's that the Packers made it pretty clear, I would say, in the games that he has played that, they don't want him airing it out at a high rate. Even when they let him throw, he's not throwing it downfield often. It's a lot of catch and run type of passes. So I've become a big Jordan Love fan this year. If he's out there, I think Christian Watson and Jaden Reed remain options. I don't even think they're must plays with Love because the Packers with Reed back and Golden back and everyone healthy again, they're spreading the ball out at a high rate. At least that's what they did this past week when Love was out there. And it makes it frustrating for fantasy. But with Willis, I have Watson on at least one of my teams that have made it through. And if it's Malik Willis, I will not be playing Christian Watson this week.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. It was so great too, LaQuan, because Christian Watson had become a thing, legitimately a thing in this offense. I was going back. I forgot Tucker Kraft. Remember how good Tucker Kraft had been when he was healthy?
Yeah, you remember that guy?
Yeah, I literally was I was looking and I'm like, he's still the tight end 16. At least as of last night, was still the tight end 16. I was like,
this was going to be the season.
He hasn't played since week 9.
Yeah, this was going to be the season that Tucker Kraft was going to explode. And it just sucks, man. Turn injuries off. I don't want to go back to my miss, plays and all this other stuff, but come on now. Judkins. Kamani Vidal. Come on. You got Jordan Love. All these injuries really trash a lot of fantasy managers this week. So it's turn injuries off, man. Cause I honestly want, Jordan Love next week if he's up and at him out of concussion protocol. Because with Malik Willis, it's cool that, he can be a guy that you pick up off the waiver wire if Jordan Love doesn't go, but it's not going to be one of those sexy picks out there that's going to help you bring home the gold. I do feel like Florio saying that most of these wide receivers taking a hit, they absolutely will, because more often than not, he's going to take the ball, tuck it and run. So if he's going to be running the ball more often than not, also you look at the other pass catchers like a Jaden Reed and stuff like that, you're hoping to be used close to the line of scrimmage because he can give you that yak. But then it's how often is Malik Willis going to be throwing the ball for 4 quarters,
Yeah, no, I think that's going to be the big question for sure.
Next week, we could get Packers, Ravens with their playoffs backs against the wall with both teams having a backup quarterback.
The
Let's
good
go
old
Snoop.
Malik Willis, Tyler Huntley matchup that we have all been pining for.
Oh, man. I hope Jordan Love is good, though, man.
Yeah, we hope so. I mean, definitely it helps the Packers. It just makes it more entertaining, too, I think, on that level.
That, too, yeah.
A more serious story, well, I guess equally serious in its own way. It's still very much in development. You have probably seen the video by now of DK Metcalf getting in an altercation with a Lions fan in the stands. DK goes over to the stands. The fan says something to him. Obviously, we don't hear what it is, but Metcalf takes a swipe at the guy. The NFL is reviewing it. Now, both sides have given their take on it. According to the fan, he says he was just using DK's full name, and that's what got him upset. According to Metcalf, this is not the first time he has had a run-in with this fan, that it happened during his days in Seattle, that the fan taunted him and said some things to upset him. Now, there's also some reports from the other fans that were in the area, and they said that this fan used language about Metcalf's mother and about Metcalf himself that absolutely crossed the line. So the league is obviously reviewing it. We don't know at this point what, if any, discipline is going to come for DK. But I mean, LaQuan, let's, if we take this out to the situation of, is there possibly a suspension coming? Again, at this point, we don't know, but we got to kind of game plan for what might happen. I get it. DK's not necessarily been a huge fantasy star this year, but he's had some nice games along the way. I mean, I guess, if you have him and you're still alive, are you pivoting to like a Calvin Austin? Are you going away from the Steelers altogether at this point?
Go away.
I saw the look on your face. Like what?
Whoa.
Like,
Calvin
what?
Austin of all people. I don't know. You might as well throw a Ben Skoranek in there. I mean, why not? I mean, Adam Thielen,
Rams
old man
legend
Thielen.
Benny Sco? Like what?
Yeah, man. Rams legend. I like that. But listen, we love Ben. I mean, look, if Ben Skoranek gets an opportunity, I hope he balls out for real life purposes. But for fantasy, you definitely take a hit. Like, it's one of those situations that you're hoping that if you were riding with DK, like you saw the up and down roller coasters he's had all season long. So you kind of properly prepared yourself to have, the wide receiver 4 ready, the wide receiver 5. Like, at least you have some depth opportunities, but I'm not looking for same team situation of like Calvin Austin or Ben Skoranek or Adam Thielen. Like, I'm more so looking elsewhere. Like, Florio has the waiver wire, later in the show that he'll get to some of the wide receivers that I'd rather pivot to, but like, this will suck if he gets suspended for this, to be honest. Like, you talking about my mom, you saying my full name, whatever the case may be, right? I feel like both sides are wrong because you paid to see me play football. You saying whatever you say, you need to be a little bit more emotionally stable, I would say, because in the text chain a week ago, I've kind of expressed of the type of football that he plays and the type of activities he does. Like
you said he was soft. You said he was a soft football player. That's what you said.
For this situation to unfold like this is kind of unfortunate on the fan side and for DK because it's like, why did this happen? Like, you're supposed to be all the way on the bench. Like, how is he even able to speak that loud that you can hear anything he's saying? And like, for that fan to be barking like that, why didn't security step in? Like, you see security on the sideline standing there, like, they usually intervene with these things of like, yo, chill out or you're going to get kicked out. It's a lot of going on.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot going on. I would say neither side comes out of this looking good. Obviously, there's more to be learned. I'm curious how much of it we actually do find out. We'll see. But we're waiting for discipline. I can't imagine there won't be some form of league discipline. We'll see what it's going to be.
We did in week 1. It feels like a lifetime ago, but Lamar did shove a Bills fan in week 1, and there was no punishment, I think, on either side. So who knows? Like, I do think if you have DK though, plan on a contingency just in case.
Yep. I think you gotta make a backup plan just in case the league decides to hand down a suspension. So who knows? JJ McCarthy, I was in the midst of having a pretty good game.
Florio boy.
Yeah, I saved this especially for Florio because you have admitted that you're sort of kind of rooting for JJ a little bit now. But injured his right hand against the Giants. Max Brosmer came in and finished things out. Also, side note to all of this, actually, we'll get to that a little bit later. But if it is Brosmer, and again, it's Monday morning when we're putting this thing together, so we don't know much of anything. But if it is Brosmer against the Lions, can you trust any of the Vikings pass catchers this week?
Probably not. He was so bad in his one. Like, he was so bad that they were like, let's get JJ out here as quickly as possible when JJ was playing his worst football of the. And yeah, the reason I'm rooting for JJ is just because whenever like consensus completely goes against a player, I'm always like, I would like that player to prove everyone wrong. It's not like I'm a JJ fan or something like that, but I do think he was judged too early. We've talked about it already, but when he first came back, he was playing defenses that had already seen him or that are some of the top defenses in the NFL. And that's not really a fair way of judging someone. The schedule has lightened up as of late. And I'm not saying he's setting the world on fire, but he has played better and he's looked better for those who have watched. And I thought the interception was rough, but I thought he made some good throws yesterday. And then I thought on top of that, like the Lions would be an opportunity you could get. I don't really want to do Jordan Addison. He's dropping everything that goes his way.
Oh, he could have caught that touchdown. Like, What is he doing?
Yeah, that would have been another touchdown for JJ. He's had a lot of bad drops, Addison. I don't, Hawkinson, we're not doing any of that. It's really just Justin Jefferson. And the Lions should be a spot you could use him because you're like, they could be trailing. They're awful against wide receivers. But if it's Brosmer, I don't know. You'd have to. It would very much so depend on your options, and there's probably a world where you have better ones than Jefferson, unless you're in a pinch. Then I understand just throwing him out there in the matchup, but it's not ideally what I want to do in the championship with Max Brosmer. You know.
I mean, let's keep it a buck. If you are consistently starting any Vikings pass catchers, it's a miracle that you are still playing.
Yeah. We're talking to a small percentage of fantasy managers right now.
So the
Jefferson
two of you out there, think long and hard about your opportunities.
I think
about what's going to happen this week.
In one of my leagues, I lost to JJ Zachariason last week by 2 points, and then I had an injury too, which sucked, but he snuck by again this week, and he has Justin Jefferson. So JJ, we're talking to you directly, I guess.
All right, JJ. JJ doesn't need our help, man. Like, if anything, we should be like taking a look at his Monday morning, data thread and pulling stuff from there. LaQuan, you mentioned Quinshon Judkins. He did leave with a broken leg, broken fibula, and a dislocated ankle. Bruh. The initial timeline for his rehab, recovery, return is somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 to 5 months. So we're looking at probably May for him to get back out on the field. Certainly plenty of time for OTAs, mini camps, and then definitely training camp once we get to the summer. In the short term, though, does this mean it's Dylan Sampson season?
Maybe, Rocket Sanders, maybe a little mixture of Dylan Sampson. Like, I feel like now I'm kind of turned off with the Browns, running backs, just based on the O-line that's been questionable these last couple of weeks. And it's like, I only seen Quinshon Judkins producing behind that line in a positive manner, getting positive yards. And I do think like now it comes down to the waiver wire. It comes down to your running back 4s and 5s that you rostered this long. It's like one of those things where it sucks, because like Judkins was literally the best back on that roster. And now I'm putting my faith in one of these backups. It's one of the things where Sampson was banged up this week or last week in the sense of what you're listening to now. I feel like I just cannot even try to sit there and try to play that game and try to put a Browns running back in the starting lineup in the championship right now.
Well, especially when it's not Quinshon Judkins. I mean, just because he was the home run hitter. He was the explosive guy who could rip off a big run, maybe take it to the house. Was also getting a few targets here and there. I mean... Yeah.
He bust off a long one, and like for holding it got called back. So it's like he was on the track of having a strong performance, and
he would have he would have got the touchdown that late. Like it was very painful as someone who has Judkins to watch Sanders, but I do think if Sampson is back this week, he's the only one I'd be interested in because he could do both, right? Like. We've seen Sampson as the lead back this year, and they're not afraid to give him the bulk of carries on the ground and use him in the passing game. Whereas if it's Sanders, he'll get the carries, and then the fake Travion will get the targets and the routes. I don't want to do that. But if Sampson is back, I could see him being in play potentially.
The fake Travion is crazy.
I mean, obviously you watched that game against the Bills. I mean, there was a ton of screen passes. Like that was they built a whole plane out of screen passes yesterday. Yeah. And it seemed like they had the Bills kind of turned around by it too. Like,
I mean, that's how you beat the Bills defense. You just beat them on the edge and then just get upfield. And that's kind of just what the game plan was.
Sanders quarterback running against the Bills is huge too. And Sanders ran for almost 50 yards yesterday. Like he was doing his thing.
At least the first quarter, maybe even part of the second quarter, he had the Bills kind of tied up in knots. And then it also felt like the game script, the 15 or 20 scripted plays, that part kind of ran out. And then it was like, all right, well, good luck.
What now?
Right. It's exactly what it was. It was a what now sort of thing.
And it didn't help that Brandon Cooks first. I know this is a different thing, but Brandon Cooks second straight week dropped like a 50-yarder right through his hands, and then Dawson Knox dropped a touchdown. Like it was a painful watch for me yesterday. It wasn't enjoyable.
I was I was watching that kind of. I wasn't fully watching it, but had an eye on. I'm kind of like this. Not looking great right now. Not looking Brandon great. Cooks, but eventually they figured it out.
They love him that he's fast. And he's getting open, but he doesn't know how hands work. That is the big problem here.
Tell me about it. We could have won a Super Bowl if he would have caught that one.
Which is wild.
Just saying.
Wild thing there. Last bit of news here. The Chiefs believe Gardner Minshew has torn his ACL. That came in a surprising, blowout loss to the Titans. I mean, they got thumped by Tennessee on Sunday. So it appears that after years of getting away with it, the Chiefs are no longer getting away with it. Chris Olave is in line to be the starter on Christmas Day against the Denver Broncos. So, Florio, I'll ask you this. Is it now officially a wrap on the Chiefs in fantasy football?
Yes. It was wild because yesterday I'm watching, I have the Bills on their own screen, and then I have like a quad box with Red Zone on it. And I couldn't fit one game that I was like, all right, I guess I can't lock into that one game. And it was an easy decision. It was like, it's Chiefs Titans. Like, I have no care about that game. Like, look, I like Cam Ward. He made a few nice throws. I'm going to watch a lot of his games back this offseason. But in fantasy playoff time, the Titans mean nothing. The Chiefs mean nothing. And yeah, without Gardner Minshew, even if Rashee Rice returns next week, I'm sitting him. I would sit Travis Kelce. I know Isaiah Pacheco had a bunch of targets. I don't care because if they do get a touchdown, it's going to go to Kareem Hunt. Yeah, this is a wasteland of because I know everyone's going to be like, it's without Mahomes. Yes, that's huge, obviously. But we're going now to a third stringer who I believe was undrafted, and yesterday was his first snaps in the NFL. I don't want my fantasy titles clinging to that, especially against the Denver Broncos.
I did post what is Chris Olave, and I was met with a couple people who told me that he was kind of a practice squad hero. I think for the Steelers for a year or two, and then I think for the Chiefs. He did play a game. He played a game last year. He appeared in one game, did not start it. No surprise. He was sacked for 5 yards. That is the only statistic that I know he did have one carry for 5 yards also. So basically he ran for 5 yards. He was sacked for 5 yards. It's pretty much a wash.
It wasn't great against the Titans. Now the Broncos have a week to prepare for him in a game they absolutely need to win.
And are upset after losing to the Jaguars.
I think they just kind of just walk off the bus and play.
If they win that game, then the following week against the Chargers is for, I believe, the one. If it's definitely for the division, it might be for the 1 seed, depending on how things play. They're going to annihilate the Chiefs on Christmas.
Yeah. By the way, that weird fever dream of the Chargers and Rams potentially hosting games on Championship Sunday, I think it's still out there. There's still a possibility.
A top seed.
I know. And the idea of what happens if SoFi Stadium has to do 2 championship games on the same day. I'm sure there are people in the facilities and the field crew over there is just all right, let's start gaming this out. Just, it's a long shot, but let's game it out just in case.
You got to go just like NFL, right? You have one Chargers end zone, one Rams end zone.
Just one end zone is Chargers, one is Rams. It's just NFL in the middle. That'll be wild. I'm kind of rooting for it.
I'm kind of pushing for it now. Yeah.
I just kind of want to see how this would work.
I'll volunteer to help out the crew. I'll help out the field crew. I prepare it.
Chargers, Bills, I'm cool with it.
That's funny. It'll be weird. So who knows? All right, so week 2 of the fantasy playoffs pretty much wrapped up, minus the Monday Night Football game. Of course, that means some more heroes and villains for us. LaQuan, who was your playoff week 2 hero?
Kyle Pitts. I mean, a lot of folks were like questioning to start him with Drake London coming back, but it looked like even with Drake London coming back, Kyle Pitts picked the ball up and kept going. So like he almost had 2 touchdowns if he doesn't drop that one in the end zone where he was wide open. But I think Kirk could have put it, in the numbers. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where it's like Kyle Pitts, there's not enough people out there throwing the cape on for him, man. He's literally the tight end 2 right now. And like for him to be a top 3 tight end to finish this season out, man, not enough people are talking about that or cheering for him. So shout out to Kyle Pitts, man, leading a bunch of fantasy managers to the championship. Bring it home.
He got me in too.
Yeah, man, that was great to see. A little frustrating because I had Drake London in a couple of leagues, but you know what? Not gonna hate. Florio, yeah. Go ahead.
I was losing in one all day, and then that Kyle Pitts. I started. It was the 2 quarterback league I told you where my quarterbacks are trash, and I started Kirk Cousins, and that stack pushed me over the top. So
there it is.
I was loving that.
Who's your hero for this week?
Chris Olave. Because in one of the leagues that I ended up winning and making the championship, it was looking rough for much of the day. And then Chris Olave exploded and really gave me a padding there to help. And it's not just yes, this was his best game of the year by far. For second game all year with multiple touchdowns, season high 16 targets, 10 catches, tied a season high, 148 yards was his season high. But he's been getting a lot of volume as of late, and him and Tyler Shuck have some chemistry cooking, and I haven't checked it yet, but I know coming into the week, Shuck was 5th in completion yards on passes of 10 or more air yards. Those are looks going to Chris Olave, so I feel really good about Chris Olave next week in the fantasy championship, and it's to spin it forward to next year. I was thinking a lot about this recently, and I was like, we all were saying we didn't love Chris Olave this summer and we didn't love his situation and stuff. But the only reason I have him on a couple of teams is because he was going so late that I was like, whenever I would get there, I'd be like, you know what? I'll take a shot on Olave at this cost. I'm going to look next season for players like that the fantasy industry is just like, I don't really want, but we know is really talented and is going at a discount. And then I'm just going to draft that player.
All right. I like that idea. I really do.
I remember him going around real quick where Brandon Ayuk was going, where the Keenan Allens of the world were going. And like Chris Olave, man, the OG now of the satchel of discontent, man, that's the pass.
I love that he escaped, man. Like he's run free.
He needed to.
He might be in the satchel of champions soon enough.
He is the Andy Dufresne of the satchel of discontent. You'll understand that reference. You'll understand that reference this summer when we make you watch Shawshank Redemption. You'll understand it a little bit more. Anyway, my hero was Trevor Lawrence, who at this point, we have to call him Trevor Lawrence. You got to call him Trevor Lawrence now, LaQuan. He's Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence. He's like, in a week where no one expected him to do anything on the road at Denver, as of now, heading into Monday Night Football, he is the QB1 for the week. 31 points. He scored 75 points in back-to-back weeks. You go back to week 13. He has 14 total touchdowns, no turnovers, no interceptions, no fumbles. He has been over 225 passing yards in all of the games. He's given you 19 or more in 4 straight. I mean, he is on absolute fire and made a statement. He and the Jaguars made a statement by going into Denver and handling the Broncos. So like, look, if you were bold enough to start him, if you were, forced into it, whatever, he was huge for you in a situation where I don't think anybody really believed he could do. If Trevor Lawrence had scored 15 points against the Broncos, I'd have been like, all right, that's, you know what? I'll take that. That's not bad. He got you 31.
Yesterday was the most impressed I've ever been with Trevor Lawrence.
Seriously. And this is my text chain, right? I was getting blown up yesterday because Trevor was going off. I mean, Justin Henry. Trev's going to need a new nickname. Shout out to JG, man. I was told that he was mid. And then I get added on Twitter, Blue Sky, Patrick Claiborne saying that I was the reason why, like the Jags owe LaQuan a ton. He is single-handedly motivated the Jags to try extra hard. Chat, I've been saying for the last month and a half that he was a playoff stash. I've been calling him William for the last couple of weeks. He is no longer mid. He's been retired off the middle meter. So it's good. He's impressed. He's earned my respect. Shout out to Trevor.
All right. Hey, very good. Very good. I appreciate it. See, this is growth. All right. So those are the heroes. LaQuan, who is your playoff villain in week 2?
All right. This one kind of made me upset because this was our tight end one. Trey McBride, 6 fantasy points. I mean, I guess Elijah Higgins, he had other plans of showing up and showing out, nearly putting up 100 yards. And again, Trey McBride just could not get separation. Like when you're watching him out there, like he is being doubled. Like they made sure to take him out of the game. Sure, Elijah Higgins, the backup tight end, go off on the waiver wire. That helped absolutely nobody. So Trey McBride, like I'm literally sitting in the leagues with multiple Trey McBrides, and I'm not going to the championship because of him. So he is my number 1 top op. I probably won't draft him because of that.
Well, then I'll gladly draft him. Like
I'm just bitter right now.
I did survive one McBride lineup that I had, but I will say, like last week, I went on Fantasy Live and I was like, yes, the Falcons are the toughest matchup for tight ends. I don't care. I think we need to give the Falcons some credit too. They played phenomenally against
took
McBride.
him out of the game. Like there was no separation that he could possibly get. And
he also probably should have caught that touchdown, but
listen, there was a lot.
It was well guarded, but it hit him in the head.
They took him out of the game. Shout out to the Falcons.
He's going to make up for it for whoever survived because he gets the Bengals next week.
Or he's going to go off for people who lost and like they're going to sit there and be salty
that's what I was about to say. That would literally piss me off.
Florio, who's your villain for the week?
The Green Bay Packers, because they played Saturday night in a game that a lot of people were watching. And look, I'm not going to knock Jordan Love. He gets concussed very early, unfortunately, so he's out. But then it was just a house of cards after that. Christian Watson had less than 4 fantasy points. Jaden Reed, the other Packers wide receiver that people probably considered starting, he didn't do anything either. You know who did? Romeo Doubs, who no one started. And then Josh Jacobs, right? I know he was banged up coming in. He was up in the air, but then he ends up going. He has a fumble. They don't give him the ball again the rest of the game. Instead, they just keep using Emmanuel Wilson, who people picked up, but no one started because Josh Jacobs ended up playing. So the Packers that you used, your cost you like we went out for dinner on Saturday night, and Nicolette was like, he got me like 3.2 points, and I'm like, it's not over, and it was over. Like it was over.
It was over.
Ruined so many people's fantasy championships, even before semifinals. I mean, before Sunday.
Wow. Yeah, that was brutal for sure. Mine's Josh Allen, and this isn't like it's not a Josh Allen hate moment. He just came up short at the worst possible moment for you is really all it was. Wow. I mean, the Bills offense, and you can speak to this probably better than either of us, but they just looked discombobulated. They just couldn't really generate much of anything. James Cook kind of helped carry the day. And I mean, look, you do this 100 times, you're starting Josh Allen 100 times, and more often than not, he's going to produce for you. This was the week he didn't. If you were able to survive, congratulations. If not, sorry about your luck. Them's the breaks in this weird game that we play.
His worst fantasy game since his rookie year, or since 2019, I believe. And his first ever career win with fewer than 200 yards and no touchdowns. But he should have had a touchdown, Dawson Knox, that hit him in the face mask. Like, I don't know what they're doing with their receiver room lately, but it hasn't been good.
Keon Coleman, Gabe Davis were healthy scratches. Like
it's a wrap for Keon.
It's a wrap for Keon in Buffalo. Yeah, I think it's over.
Like if he's there next year, it says they're 4 or 5. Like it's nothing more.
You definitely draft another wide receiver though, right? Like
I think they should forget drafting. Just go get one of these big names that doesn't want to be on their team anymore.
Nobody would try to play
AJ Brown. You're asking for AJ Brown.
Justin Jefferson was unhappy this year. DJ Moore, I know, is happy now, but for a lot of the year, he was like a forgotten man in Chicago. Like, I don't want Brandon Ayuk. I'll tell you that right now, Marcus. But,
no, you don't need Brandon Ayuk.
The other options, like those, I would rather swing big and get a proven commodity. But we'll see what they do. They'll probably draft someone in the 3rd round.
¿Por qué no los dos? Go out and get a free agent and then draft Mekhi Lemon.
Oh, all right. Is that
Biletnikoff winner? Yes.
Yeah.
You're actually getting better at it. I mean, it's not great, but you're better at it now than you were earlier in the season. Stop. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's it. And then Florio doing little bunny foo-foo over here. One last look back at week 16 with a little thing that's called What the Bleep is Going On. You mentioned Justin Jefferson, Florio, before the break and his frustrations. Had his best game since week 9. 6 catches, 85, 86 yards, I think it was. Does this mean they're figuring something out, or is this purely because the Giants stink?
But it's good to see that they took advantage of the matchup because they've had favorable matchups leading up to this, and it really hasn't worked out. But still feel the same way. Like, next week's a great matchup, even better than the Giants, right? Like, the Lions are one of 2 teams worse against receivers than the Giants have been this season. But if it's Max, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, this was the week I actually, coming into this week, was just kind of like, yeah, it's over for Justin Jefferson. Like, I'm like, if I somehow survive, like, I can't keep running him back out there. So like, this would have, if I had him somewhere, I probably would have benched him. You know, I don't know if I'd have been sad about missing out on those 14 points or whatever it was that he gave you, but it just didn't make sense to keep doing
this season
at this point.
Is going to ruin his all-time standings because, like, he should be getting 1,510 every year, but...
You know what it's going to be? It's going to be one of those things where you look back and you'll see, like, the low number and you'll be like, was he hurt or something this year? And you'll be like, no.
Nope.
No, it's just his quarterback stunk. That's pretty much all it is.
I know we can't get into... The Vikings should have a lot of explaining to do on how their quarterback room got so bad. Like, I get it with JJ, but behind... Like, you had so much talent.
That's what I would want from a Hard Knocks. That's what I would want from a Hard Knocks, but they will never, thanks to the Giants, open up and give us that kind of access.
Oh, yeah.
After the Saquon Barkley with the Giants, like, we will never see that sort of access into a team's front office decisions ever.
The Giants also gave us the clip of their GM being like, I don't know about Jackson Dart. It's on you. And then when he's good, he's like, it was all of us, man. I was just as influential on that. Like,
yeah. Ashton Jeanty against the Houston Texans. I mean, we were all away from the Raiders. I mean, we literally asked Cam Wolf last week, Florio, like, will the Raiders score a touchdown? Like, it was a common question around social media. At what point they had the lead in that game? And Ashton Jeanty has his second best game of the season. 128 rushing yards, a rushing touchdown, 60 receiving yards, and a receiving touchdown. He did it against the Texans, LaQuan. Like, what the is going on? What happened? How did this happen?
That's exactly what I was saying when I was watching that game. Like, how are the Raiders still in this game? Like, I had the Texans defense everywhere in a lot of leagues. And I'm like, yeah, they still gave me 12 points. But at one point they had 18 because they were just turning the ball over, getting sacks. And it's like, wait, Ashton Jeanty, a 60-yard reception? How? How did you let that go? Okay, that happened. And then he runs another one for, like, I forget how many yards, but it's like one of those things where, did the Texans show up or, like, did they take the starters out? Because it made no sense that Ashton Jeanty was having this type of game on a lot of benches. Like, so many people in leagues that are probably looking at him on the bench like, you're the reason why I'm not going to the championship. And the folks who started him, shout out to you rolling the dice because you probably had no depth at the running back position. You were forced to start him. And again, that looks scary on paper with the Texans defense, with the way they've been stuffing, the way they've been suffocating the running back position. It kind of was just like, you know what? It is what it is. I deserve this. You know what? If I bench Ashton Jeanty, I made that high draft investment. I should have started him in the playoffs.
Well, here's the thing. If you started Ashton Jeanty, then you were probably cruising through your consolation bracket because that's probably where you were after starting Ashton Jeanty all year long.
Yeah, we're talking to a small percentage of the people.
I have a team where I traded for him. Like, the team that had him was falling out of it, so I took a shot on him. And I did bench him this week, but I won. Your reward, if you do have him, is he gets the New York Giants next week.
There you go. Yep. Which means he's going to give you like 6.
Yes, that's how this works.
While we're on this game, man, I don't know about CJ Stroud. Like,
I don't know about the Texans. What was that?
Well, they were so good until all of a sudden yesterday they weren't. And I think I thought Greg Rosenthal put it really well on Blue Sky. It's like when CJ Stroud is bad, like he's bad. that's kind of it. Like when he's good, like when he's peaking, things look really good. And you're like, okay, I understand why he was drafted where he was. But when it's bad, it is scary bad for him.
It's the Raiders. Like,
side note to all this, I got texts from multiple Raider fans who were like, they better not win this game. Like, what are the Raiders doing? What are the Raiders doing? They
almost won it, man. They almost won it.
The Texans would be legit Super Bowl contenders with a more consistent quarterback. I don't think they win it, though, because of their offense. Like,
yeah, I think that's going to hold them back for sure. Because at some point you got to score points, and they don't really do that consistently. LaQuan, Taysom Hill got 12 carries in a football game.
Why? We are all talking about like,
where is Congress to step in and intervene? What is happening? How?
I don't know, because I was actually in the text chain with you guys. I'm like, yes, Tyler Shuck deep bomb to Chris Olave. And then I look back. I'm like, why is Taysom Hill throwing these bombs? Why is Taysom Hill even playing right now?
Why is Tyler Shuck so meaty?
Pause. But I'm just saying this, like, they know, like, they can utilize him as a tight end, running back, quarterback, whatever the case may be. But why? We don't need him in playing quarterback when you have a quarterback that's playing very well, that threw up 300 yards. Like, there makes no sense why he's even in the playbook at this point, because I get it in previous years when the Saints were just god awful and had no players and had no offensive skill players that had versatility. It's just one of those things like, why are we sticking him now? Like, he needs to be banned. He needs to be banned from the field. Let him get a paycheck on the bench. Why is he playing?
Because he's good. I mean, look. I think it's one thing to say it's frustrating for fantasy, because it is. He threw a 38-yard touchdown pass. He led them in rushing yards, and he was their third leading receiver. And I do think this was a missed opportunity on our part, because when it's the third and fourth string running back, clearly Taysom Hill is going to be involved in the running game. And then on top of that, what I didn't realize, this might be his final game he plays in New Orleans, because they're on the road the next two. And he said he and his wife were talking about it all week, and they were really emotional, and the team was behind him. We should have saw this coming, is what I'm trying to say. So
it's like senior day for Taysom Hill,
yes,
is what you're
exactly.
saying.
And Cam Jordan as well. He balled out as well.
Yeah. But we can't use him in fantasy.
No, but he's like our co-worker. He's kind of our co-worker, though, right?
Shout out to him.
He's got the podcast, he's got his podcast here at NFL Media. Like
he sacked 50 different quarterbacks, man. That's a great stat to have on your belt, man.
By the way, I saw this screenshot of a tweet come through as we were talking earlier, and it fits right here, right? This is from Jeff Duncan, who is one of the Saints beat writers. I'm just going to read this verbatim, and as I read this, I'm going to watch your faces for the reaction here. Some folks have asked me about Taysom Hill's Hall of Fame worthiness. Unless something changes, he will not be eligible for candidacy. To be considered for the Hall of Fame, a player must have at least one recognized postseason honor, like Pro Bowl or All-Pro, on his career resume.
Yo, give him Pro Bowl this year just to get him on the ballot.
Don't do this.
I mean, so that means Snoop Huntley is Hall of Fame eligible.
So that means, Yep, Tyler Huntley has some Hall of Fame candidacy whenever he finally retires.
He could be a fantasy Hall of Famer. Is there a fantasy Hall of Fame? Just put him in there then.
Taysom Hill?
Yeah, just put Taysom in there then.
I think he belongs I agree.
Are we doing the all frustration wing of the fantasy Hall of Fame? Because that's what that is.
Because he plays a role that usually is a flash in the pan, right? Like a guy usually does it for like 6 games or a year at the most, and then it kind of goes like Cordell
But
Patterson
how many different offensive coordinators this guy's been through to be stuck into the playbook? Like,
that's why it stinks for fantasy. It annoys us and everything. But if you like take a step back, it's really cool that he's been able to keep. He's the only person who could keep this role, and he keeps it every year with a different coordinator.
But is it because he's good, or just the Saints have been bad? Like,
a combo of both?
Do you love chitlins, or have you been eating pig guts so long that you don't know the difference anymore?
I don't know what either of those are.
They're the same thing.
What is? But you eat them, obviously.
I've eaten them once. They're disgusting. I won't do it again. But that's the point.
If he's not in New Orleans next year, he's 100% in Denver, right? Like,
oh yeah.
Stop putting this evil out there in the world.
Yeah, I can see it now. It looks beautiful. Evan Ingram, see ya.
I'd rather have Taysom Hill than Evan Ingram right now.
That's true. Well, because Sean Payton will actually draw up plays for Taysom Hill. Ugh,
he's the only joker that he's ever actually used.
I don't want to think about this anymore.
Prayers for RJ Harvey if this happens.
Let's spin forward to week 17. Obviously we'll talk more about it as the week goes along, but do have some big questions early on. First one for you, Florio. How worried should we be for Josh Jacobs? Obviously was less than 100% going against the Ravens, who have improved. They've improved their run defense over the course of the season. How worried should we be if you are maybe starting Josh Jacobs in a championship?
Yeah, the Ravens have become one of the tougher run defenses in football. And I'm not going to lie, I was putting the names together for Stardom Sit-em yesterday, and I looked at Josh Jacobs for a very long time, because I am worried, right? He's not fully healthy. It's a tough matchup. We don't know if Jordan Love is going to be out there. And I get it. A lot of Josh Jacobs managers probably got bounced this past week. But if you survived, I still find it very difficult, despite everything I just said, to get away. Maybe if you have you're a stacked team and you have loaded options, sure. But most teams don't have that. And I think in that situation, you probably still roll the dice on Josh Jacobs.
I think that's the thing. I think you're playing him because you probably don't have anybody whose ceiling matches that, but man, it's scary hours right now for him, unless we get reports that everything is great or whatever, he's good to go, but that doesn't seem very likely right now for him. All right, LaQuan, can you start Baker Mayfield against the Dolphins? Baker with fewer than 15 points and 4 of his.
Thing? Because the Packers play Sunday. The Lions play on Christmas. If the Lions lose, the Packers clinch the playoffs. That also, I think, factors into the Josh. If they clinch, do they just shut him down? Because
the chances, them getting a 1 seed, that's out. Yeah. So, I don't think they can change their seed significantly the rest of the way.
You'd rather get healthy, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's battling multiple injuries, so I could see them shutting him down.
So if you have Josh Jacobs and Emmanuel,
you need the Rams to win. Or the Lions, rather, to win.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But back to what I was asking you, LaQuan. Baker Mayfield against Miami, can you start him next week?
If you're okay with QB2 numbers, it's a serviceable matchup. We've seen Tyler Shuck, we've seen Joe Burrow explode on them just recently, last week. So I feel like it's a serviceable matchup, but Baker has not been good. Let's be honest, he has not been good. Even with the fully assembled roster, he just has not been good in terms of completing the ball. It's why are you overthrowing this? Why are you not having the wide open Chris Godwin playing out of a slot where that is your friend? And it's I just feel like Baker right now, he can't be trusted in a championship. I hope that you have other alternatives. I hope that you have backups that can come in and really help you out, because the championship, I feel like you're going for ceiling, and his ceiling has not been great. It's been QB2. It's been low end QB2 for most weeks that you put him in there. And he's not been the guy that we saw the MVP race. Once folks started throwing that MVP at him.
That was just fun 3 weeks though.
Yeah, it kind of evaporated. It was just okay, I play bad now? I just don't get it. It's not a comfortable situation right now.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Last question here. I'm going to ask you, Florio, first, and then I'll come back to LaQuan and get his thoughts on this. But
this must be a good one.
Well, we started talking about Josh Jacobs, right? Do the Packers shut him down if they clinch a playoff spot? The Rams obviously are in a playoff spot. I know there's still the division and possibly the 1 seed going along, but they got the Falcons this week. And I don't really care what Atlanta did yesterday against Arizona. This is a different beast altogether. Is it overthinking things to say, I don't want to start Matthew Stafford because he might not play all 4 quarters against Atlanta? And I feel like we do this every single year, but Stafford is the guy this year that we're doing. I know we did it with Tom Brady, I think a couple years ago, whatever. Am I overthinking things by bringing this up?
I think it's a good conversation to have because fantasy managers are probably starting to get concerned about guys getting benched and stuff. I do think in this case, I wouldn't be worried about it, and maybe LQ feels differently, but I think twofold. First, the Rams want to get Matthew Stafford this MVP. I think that has been pretty evident. And I think with this past week, as well as Stafford played, they lost. Drake May played really well on Sunday Night Football. I went on Fantasy Live on Friday before the Sunday games, and we're saying like everyone is declaring the MVP race over. That is foolish. Like it is not. But this is Stafford's last chance to showcase it. And I don't think what happens in week 18 for really either team will influence the MVP voting a whole lot. So I do think they're going to showcase Stafford on Monday Night Football in a fantastic matchup. And if he does come out and doesn't play the full 4 quarters, I think it's because the Rams are blowing them out so badly that they're just like, okay, this is it. But if they're getting to that point, Matthew Stafford is going to give you numbers. So I think like I have Puka. I haven't even obviously not, but like I haven't really been worried about this. I think week 18, the Rams should probably shut everyone down and kind of get that built-in bye week. But I don't think you want to do it 2 weeks in a row because then you risk going into the playoffs a little rusty and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, any real shot that Stafford just sort of plays 3 quarters and then shuts it down in the 4th or something.
That would probably mean they're blowing them out. And like Stafford's probably sitting with a 20 burger at that point if he's, going out there scoring. So I wouldn't worry about it. Like, I do think that I agree with Florio. Like, this is going to be Monday night, prime time, MVP. Race has been wrapped up personally since October, but I would just say
October,
that,
huh? Well,
yeah, bro, it's been dead since October, bro. Like like we constantly do this.
Why have you been crashing out in text chains about it?
Because folks have been
I honestly haven't even checked the odds. Is he still the favorite or
probably?
Absolutely.
I saw a lot of people caping.
I've seen 2 names. I've seen 2 names that I'm just like, are we serious? Like Justin Herbert and Williams?
I've seen Trevor Lawrence get some love.
Praise me for showing restraint because I almost texted you about, hey man, there's a quarterback in Los Angeles who wears blue and yellow that's an MVP candidate and was going to send you the Justin Herbert stuff.
Herbert
but I decided
is not
to
an
do
MVP candidate.
No, he's not. He just played really well yesterday.
This is what I'm talking about. This is the fantasy
He's played really well yesterday.
Everybody else is talking at this point. Like, just stop. It's annoying. Like, stop. Okay, I accepted the Josh Allen and Drake May fake campaigns, but
it's a two-man race now, but it is close.
It was close.
It's not close.
I'm just looking at it, right? And this isn't my opinion, LQ. I'm just looking. I just pulled him up. He is still the favorite, but it's very close.
All right, so this is, for most leagues, because friends don't let friends play week 18, this is the last round of waiver runs, right? The last time you can do drops and ads before you get ready for your championship week. So it's a little bit different because, you're not stashing guys for any future opportunities. Like there is no tomorrow, literally. I mean, there's a tomorrow, but you know what I'm saying. So I'll start with you, LaQuan and Florio. You can follow up. Like, do you have any tips on how people should approach waivers this week?
Chase opportunity, not big names. Like, I feel like opportunity is what matters. And like the ceilings are the ultimate like goal this week. Like, you need to get guys that have the ultimate ceilings and not safe floors. So your Khalil Shakirs, the Keenan Allens, like these are the guys that are not going to give you those high ceilings. You need to go out there and shoot for the stars this week. Like, put it all on the line.
All right, Florio, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think this week is insanely unique because there's no tomorrow, like you said. So if you have handcuffs or whatever, they're droppable because anyone you're not starting this week, as long as you're confident that your opponent won't pick them up and start them against you, it is droppable. And anyone that you are starting, if that includes a kicker or a defense, they're now your top priority. And then my second top priority is anyone that my opponent has. Like this past week, I had Fab left and my opponent didn't. And I knew he was looking to stream a running back. So I picked up Michael Carter and Jordan and all the guys that were available that might be streaming options so that I could block my opponent. And now I'm going to be looking to do the same thing this week. And then after that, if you want to add your favorite player or whoever, you can, because the bench literally doesn't matter. Like it's just who you're starting this week.
Yeah. I mean,
I've done that before. Like I picked up quarterbacks that are no longer in the league just to have a championship and have them on my bench. It looks cool.
Like Philip Rivers.
Do they get a playoff share too?
The Colts did it in real life, man.
Yeah, they really did, man. Yeah, I would just say, like, guys, look, if you are weak at a particular position, I would definitely go get a couple of potential streaming options there, whether it's tight end, defense, kicker, you mentioned, like if you're not sure, give yourself a couple of options, right? So you go into Thursday or Saturday or Sunday or Monday with some choices about what you think could be the best option for you. So I would do that. So for one last time, LaQuan, who are we dropping off our rosters?
Rico Dowdle. Listen, it has been disgusting. The Panthers' run game completely fell off a cliff, so I'm okay with dropping him. Even if you're rostering Chuba, like, they're kind of just eating each other alive at this point. And crazy enough, in the last 3 games, Chuba Hubbard has more yards with less opportunities on the field than Rico Dowdle. So he's kind of fell completely off of the cliff. No reason to even try to think about starting him because it's pretty much over for the Panthers' run game.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. At first, I was surprised when I saw this, Florio, but then I was like, no, it makes sense.
Yeah, like it's Emeka Egbuka, and I agree with what LQ was saying earlier. Like, Baker don't really want to. I think right now, Mike Evans is the only buck I would want to start with confidence. That includes
trying to get him that 1,000.
Yeah, I think he's like 600 yards short of it or something like that.
He can do it.
I will say I didn't have the bravery or whatever you want to call it to say sit Bucky only because it's against the Dolphins and they have been ran all over all year. But I don't love the way they're using that backfield. And with Emeka Egbuka, I know he was their leading receiver yesterday, but he had 2 targets. And this has been a long time where it's just falling off of a cliff. Him and Baker aren't on the right page. I don't want to play him this week, so I'm going to drop him to ensure that I don't.
Yeah, it's funny because remember, like, the start of the year, we're like, oh, Emeka Egbuka, he's runaway offensive rookie of the year. And then it just sort of fell apart. And now, I think Teteroa McMillan's probably your OROY at this point.
Yeah.
It's just based on what he's been a lot more consistent, and he's had some bigger games as we've gotten later into the season.
Especially.
Yeah, for sure, if they win the division. Mine's Keenan Allen. I was shocked to see he's still on like 80% of rosters on NFL.com.
People still believe.
I think it's just the name, right? It's just Keenan Allen has held us down for so many years. And let's not forget, he had a hot start to the season. He had, touchdowns in each of the first 3 games.
He was averaging like 20-something fantasy points per game, and then started the season. I remember it. Yeah.
Yeah. But since the start of week 8, he's had 1 game with more than 50 receiving yards. And Trey Harris is starting to eat more into his opportunities weekly. So this is just one of those things where I get it. Keenan Allen's been a really good player and a really good fantasy option for a long time. This also, just looking at his game logs and his usage, this feels like one of those things where at the end of the season, like, he just drops his retirement announcement, right? Like, we're gonna get on social media, on X or Blue Sky or Instagram, and it's just gonna be that blue background with white text about like I'm so proud of the opportunity. I'm thankful for the opportunities the Chargers organization have given me, and because it's also fitting, right? He could potentially retire with the same team that drafted him. He had the one little sabbatical outside of the Chargers, and then comes back. It's also perfect. This feels like Keenan rides off into the sunset after the playoffs. And then, then Trey Harris becomes the guy there with Ladd and QJ.
So this is pretty cool, actually. 2030, Phillip Rivers and Keenan Allen would then be Hall of Fame, and Travis Kelce probably.
That'd be kind of cool. Like, I don't think Keenan gets in the Hall of Fame, but it'd be kind of cool to have them on the ballot together.
Yeah,
I hope he does. I'm not sure if he does. I hope Rivers does as well.
I think Rivers does. I don't think Keenan Allen. He's the Hall of Very Good, but I don't think he's a Hall of Fame type.
I mean,
guy.
The Hall of Very Good. Hopefully, Torrey Holt will be in the Hall of Fame by then, because the Hall of Very Good, Torrey Holt deserves to be in. Man, come on.
Yeah, I got no problem with big game Torrey Holt being in there. That's fine.
All hands, maybe.
All right. So waiver wire. Who's on the waiver wire for week 17?
Quarterbacks, if you need a streamer, Tyler Shuck, who's just been balling out as of late. Cam Ward, don't look now, but multiple touchdowns in 3 straight games. Kirk Cousins, because quarterback is pretty thin if you need a streamer, and he could be in a game where he has to throw a ton. And then JJ McCarthy, if he's able to play, it is a good matchup on paper. Running backs, Ramondre Stevenson gets the Jets next week. So if Trayvon's out, I just think Stevenson is a straight up start. Michael Carter didn't have the biggest day, but volume was on his side. And then the Browns running backs we've already discussed. I like Dylan Sampson if he's active. If not, it'll be a combination of Raheem Sanders and Travion Williams, who both of which sound like if you said those names, you'd be like, no, I'm getting two players confused. But no, those are real players. And then wide receiver, Parker Washington and Matt Collins. Washington has been balling out. Matt Collins is clearly their number 2 option behind Steph Diggs. And then tight ends, Dalton Schultz, again, another big game, or not as big as the week before, but still just consistent and overlooked. Darren Waller gets another good matchup. And then Taysom Hill, because if you need a tight end streamer, the floor is low, but the upside is high with him.
You're talking about like Raheem
Imagine
Sanders.
you lose to a Taysom Hill game in the championship. Oh my!
I might quit
Someone
fantasy.
lose for
I'm done.
one way or another,
I'm done.
Like seriously, if I lose to oh my gosh, I don't even want to put that in the universe because I'm still in it.
Yeah. Before we wrap up the show, it's time for Harold Fannin Watch. For those of you who don't remember, way back last February, I believe it was, in the spring.
Yeah.
LaQuan here said that if Harold Fannin Jr. finished as a top 5 tight end, that he would dye his hair blonde. This comes obviously after a year in which you dyed your hair blonde because Jonnu Smith finished as a top 5 tight end. So after a big game in week 16,
Of course.
Harold Fannin right now is tight end 6. He is less than a point. He is 0.8 points behind Brock Bowers for the tight end 5 spot. So currently it's Trey McBride at 1, Kyle Pitts at 2, which by the way is, even the most optimistic Kyle Pitts person would not have had him as tight end 2 at this point. No. Kyle Pitts is 2, Travis Kelce is 3, Jake Ferguson is number 4. You got Bowers at 5 and Harold Fannin right on his tail for that number 5 spot. And let's see, let's look at who are these two guys playing?
He's within 5 points still too of Ferguson and Kelce. So like he's got 3 opportunities to jump in the top 5.
So he's got the
this is insane.
He's got the Steelers next week. Fannin does. The Steelers giving up the 3rd most fantasy points to tight ends this year. So it's a really good matchup for Harold Fannin. Meanwhile, Brock Bowers, who admittedly, Brock Bowers went out and gave you 14 against the Texans, which I don't think anybody would have anticipated. Bowers has the Giants next week. And weirdly, the Giants have been kind of good against tight ends.
I love how this is all lining up, right?
Giants giving up
he could have a dud.
Giants giving up the 6th fewest points to the tight end position. So, we could have a flip-flopping of it.
The one to watch, I think, is Travis Kelce, because he put up 1.1 point or whatever it was this past week.
He's got the Broncos this week. Ooh.
Oh boy, this is
so what shade of blonde are you looking at?
Yeah, we hit up the mall next week.
Is it like a platinum? Is it like a strawberry?
I like the strawberry blonde look. The strawberry blonde it fits the brand. So
all right.
we did need to talk.
We saw your lovely wife recently, and we broke this news that you said it was permanent dye this time too, and she was like, I don't know why he keeps doing this to himself. Yeah.
Credibility, baby. That's what it's for.
Man, you are the tight end. Was here's the thing. I'm waiting for you. We should actually build a whole segment next year during the spring where you can announce who is your tight end, your pick to click at tight end next year. Yeah, we'll get a music sting for it. Maybe we can have somebody make graphics or whatever. We can make it a whole social clip that you announce who your tight end is. And then we'll see how quickly this person rockets up ADP draft boards and stuff.
I keep thinking to the first time you have to go talk to your kid's teacher or something like that, and your hair is just blonde.
I'm like, what is wrong with this guy?
Because it's a lot of explaining to be like, well, I do a podcast and I said that this player would be top 5, and then they're just gonna think you wanted to dye your hair blonde.
Yeah.
That's what it's starting to look like at this point. But no, like seriously, even in February when I said it, I was just literally just doing the deep dive on the tight ends, the prospects. And I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, yo, he reminds me a ton of John New. Like his playing style, his ability out there to catch, and everything that we've seen this season, he has matched that type of energy. And I'm like, oh crap, I did it again. Yeah, did it again. So hopefully there's no John New type, coming out of next year's draft.
Or just don't threaten to dye your hair blonde. That's the simplest
I'm
answer.
glad I didn't change up the color, because if it would have been orange or
I'm gonna
teal
make it green, right?
green,
you've been looking crazy.
Blonde is actually
I'm gonna do polka dots.
The funny thing is, one, you do it. Me and Marcus don't ask you to do it. Like, you just bring it upon yourself.
Unsolicited.
But also, there's no reward for you, because you don't want to dye your hair blonde, and there's nothing if it doesn't happen, it's just pure.
It was one of those
yourself.
things that our folks in Australia, our international listeners, they were just hitting the DMs like, bro, you got to dye your hair, man. You got to do it, man. Stick to your word. And they were looking forward to the next tight end that they should target. And I kind of just put it in February thinking nah, it's a rookie. It won't happen. And it's the Browns he ended up on top of that with David Njoku.
That's the wildest part. He didn't have a team when you said that.
Yeah, it was
he was
just
still a draft prospect. He didn't have a team yet. That's even crazier. So, so we wait. And next week we'll be back to talk about it.
I think the next video you make should be the meta glasses of you shopping for hair dye.
Yes. Yep. That's
Good
gonna be
idea.
on TikTok. It's got to be on TikTok or something for sure. So we will talk about that, though, as it unfolds. And we'll have an update for you next week at this time. But, of course, we'll be with you, of course, a couple more times during the week getting you ready for your championships. But in the meantime, for us, that'll do it for this edition of the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast. Stay happy, safe, and healthy. Do good and live well. Enjoy the days, everybody. We will talk to you again real soon.